everyone, how are we all doing today? It's Angela here and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd bring you my craft room tour, my latest one for this year, and I've done quite a few different things to it, so I'm hoping that you are going to enjoy having a look at what I've done so far. I will just say that for the most part I haven't really changed anything that I would normally have here. I do have a project going on my desk. I do have a couple of things I have hoovered, so on the floor. But yeah, for the most part, not everything's perfect. And of course, this has been a process. So, you know, don't feel disheartened if you're still working on your kitchen or dining room table. I did that for a very long time as well. All right, so this is just to give you a little bit of an overview of what it looks like inside my craft room, which is not the hugest space either. So I've had to get quite creative with some of the ideas I've sort of used. So I'm showing you here a picture of my wardrobe actually, and this is nothing to do with the crafts. This is just where I hang my coats and clothes that I don't wear for the season, so we won't be looking in there. But I have put on some beautiful butterflies that I've received from lovely ladies like yourself in the post, and they are on my door here, and I do have some more further along, as you'll see. Okay, so I hope this is not too bumpy. Trying to keep it as smooth as possible. So this is the wardrobe and the entrance to my craft room, and as you can see, I'm trying to pan around here ever so slowly. You can see the park in the sort of background there. That's the view that I get to look out at, and really that is really my craft room space. All right, so I'll go through some of these things just so that you can have a look around. Now, first of all, you'll see I've got a huge mess over here. This is where I store all my sort of packaging envelopes, boxes that I use, various things like that. And I've even got a couple of extra books over here, which I can't fit in my bookshelf, and they're sort of extras. And packaging that I'm keeping that I, you know, plan to use at some point. There's my dog. And various bags and boxes and things that I have over there. So not a very attractive space at all. I try and keep it neat, but you know, what can you do? There's always an area like this, and I'm sure in most people's rooms. Okay, that's just my little heater that I have in here when I get really cold, and Abby likes to lie next to me when I've got that on. Trying to pan slowly. If you have a look over here, you'll see I've got a lovely stand, which is an IKEA stand, where I store a couple of things on. You'll see it's a 4-box stand. The bottom there I have tissue paper let's try and see that I just put all my tissue paper for my parcels and things like that in there. You can see I've got a whole ream of it there. That's in there. Here is where I've got these boxes I got from a person at work, and I love that she asked me if I'd be interested in the boxes, and I love them because they are pink. And if I can get it out, that would be good. Difficult when you're using one hand. This is where I keep a lot of the cards and things I receive from lovely people like yourselves. I don't throw anything away. So I've got a lot of that in there, and the same in the other one as well. So this is a lot of cards that I want to ultimately put into a journal, but you know. Then you can see I've got quite a few journals at the back here that I've bought from people, and again some more up here, so you might recognize one yourself. All right, so I've got beautiful journals. Oh, this one's from Martina. I bought that from her. These are from Heidi. I've got a gorgeous couple from Gina from the Firefly. I've got some others in the back there as well. I'm not going to go through everything. On the top of the shelf, I've got a fan which I got from Carmen. She sent this to me. Thanks, Carmen. I did use it in the summer. And then I've got some other gifts that I've received from people at the back there as well. And then the bottom one is where I keep my some of my washi tapes in there. just a cup that I was given by my daughter, so I put it there. You can see I've got more butterflies at the top of my desk. This is really towards the roof area now. And I do, as you see, this is my actual desk where it all happens. And if I go sort of out a little bit, you can see I have everything right around me. Well, not everything, but a lot of the pieces that I work with all the time right around me. So this is a change for me and really helpful. All these little bottles here have you've got pins, some buttons. I've got those tiny little Tim Holtz paper clips, all sorts of bits in here, my pearls, different pearls, little stickers, more buttons. I'm not going to bore you with everything, but I keep things all around me. This is just the rack where I store my most used distress inks over here. And then over here I've got all the sort of tools, my pens and stuff. This is just some of the tools when I'm working, and it's right above my work area. Those are my brushes, scissors, and then most of my scissors I hook on over there. So there's my pinking shears and various other ones that I have over there. I have my templates, because you know I love a template, and I've got my templates all cut out and clipped up there, so when I want to use any of those are easily accessible. I'm trying not to make you dizzy. More little bottles up here with lots of pieces you can see in them. Love these little shelves, really handy. Some more trims. These are the ones I use quite often, and this little container here has a lot of my sort of various fabric ribbon that I've torn and wound around these bobbins, so that I keep in there as well. And then this is really my glues and sort of items tray. Keep my hand cream there with all the hand washing. I always need hand cream. And those are just the glues, my glue stick, my hot glitter glue, and of course this lovely Sugar Belle container with the Beacon 3-in-1 that goes in there. Right, so that's really accessible. This is just magnetic tins that I keep all my sort of pink brads in, and these are metal, these trays here, so they can just fit onto any of them. You can see I've got different colors. Over here you can see a lot more of my tools, some more butterflies, various tools. This is for my Big Shot pliers for jewelry making. I've got different crocodiles and things, and then all my rulers in there. So those are all in arm's reach of when I'm working. Okay, so if we go further up a little bit, I've got some of the stamps that punches that I like to use, and some more of those little tins with my brads on. Okay, so going down towards the bottom of my desk now, if I sort of give you a outward shot, you can see I've got lots going on here at the moment. I am busy with 2 projects on this desk at the moment. So I've got one of them right here, which is, this is a journal I'm working on, and that's a project you've all seen me do. This is an actual journal of mine that I've got here as well. I was looking at some of my ideas that I normally do. On the left of me here I've got a whole collection of strips of paper that are either tea-dyed or really are from antique books, and I keep the strips to use for my letter stamping in there, the clippable letters, which works really well. I do save everything, and you can see I've cut off pieces of brown craft envelope. I use those to make little circles for coin envelopes, so I keep everything. These are my containers. Just move them out a bit. These containers here are the ones I've shown you before, and they have my tags ready to go, my little bits of trim that I like to draw from. I draw from this all the time. I've got my little scraps of bits and pieces that I throw in a box here that I draw when I'm looking for something. I go and look in there. Those are all my tabs that I've cut from scrap paper, and I use these a lot. Nice to have them ready. And those are just little paper ruffles that I've made from scraps that I have ready to go in there. So I keep those close to me. These are the 4 that I draw from the most, so they stay just at the corner of my table here. Okay, then I've just got another little container there, and you can see that it's full of ready to go ephemera that I've cut out, or bits that I'm using. Got sweets, because you know you got to have those. Got a couple of paper clips that I use while I'm crafting, my scraps, and you will have seen me show you my butterflies, various bits and pieces that I have in here, labels. Those are really small ones, so if I take this out, sorry, you can see I've got butterflies that I've collected from various kits and things there. It's always good to have those things on hand. Alright, so I just put the small scrap pile that I draw from when I'm making my tags or collaging. Those are all the little bits in there that I draw from. Further along my desk, that's for another journal I'm busy working on, so I'm collecting pieces as I go there. That's just my little collection of ready-made ephemera or stuff that I want to complete for an order. Got a Yankee candle standing there my son gave me, and then just a project I'm working on at the moment, which I'm sure to share with you in the future. And as I said, we've sort of done that. So if I go back a little bit, this is my work area, and you can see this is my chair right here. So here's the chair, and you can see that oh, my sewing machine as well. So everything is sort of panning around me, and it makes it really easy to work like that. It does look a bit crazy on here because I'm busy with stuff, but normally that stuff isn't here, and nor is this. All right, but when you're busy, then that's how it looks. Okay, I'm a realist. This is how it looks. If you look at the windowsill, you can see I've got a container over here with all my stencils that I like to use. So they are in there. That one's a bit bigger, so I've just bent it over. That's my speaker when I'm listening to music. I've got 2 of those. This is a container with all my packaging. I'm always recycling, as you know. So anything that I get from the packaging, these kinds of sleeves, I use this because the cardboard in here is a beautiful cream color, so I use this a lot for recycling. You can see it's quite a big container. And then along the windowsill, which I hope is clean, a couple of my boards, so my trimmer, my decal trimmer from Tim Holtz, which I love, my envelope maker, and one of my other trimmers that I use when I'm cutting paper for my Big Shot, which I'll show you now. Those are the Big Shot plates and various papers I use to cut out fussy cuts. And over here is my Big Shot. Love this machine. It is the bigger one, which I'm grateful for because I can fit an A4 size on it. And obviously you can use those large embossing folders as well, which I have. So that stands at the end here. In the corner, you can see I've got all my bubble wrap that I've collected in a bag, not very pretty, and my box for my trimmer. So you see there are things all over. If I sort of go back a little bit, you can see what this unit looks like. Trying to get it all in. I hope that's about it. Right, so it's again furniture's all from IKEA. And I've got lots of cubbies that I've put in there. So I've put in those double cubbies. Let me just get down here so you can see. I've got all my cardstock and paper pads in here, and I have a lot of those. This is all single-paged cardstock, and also yeah, plain cardstock that I've had for years. And these are old paper pads that I've had, and I've cut out and used a lot for fussy cutting, not fussy cutting, my die cuts like wildflowers and things. Over there I've got a collection of my books that I like to buy. I've got antique ones, vintage ones, all sorts of ones, as well as the 2 rolls of paper that I ironed from packaging over there. All right, so I'm not going to go through every single box. I'll open a few for you. This one's funny because Let's do the first one. You can see what I collect in here. Toilet roll holders, and I use these a lot for all sorts of things, so that's where they go. Those are the books that I've got out there. Lots of Edith Holden's. I do use them. Lots of vintage and antique ones there. And then I hope this is not making you all crazy with dizziness. And then lots of different sizes of paper pads that I have over here. Oh, this one here is all my Christmas stuff, I think. So keep it in those containers that I've shown you before. Keep it all packed away here, ready for Christmas again. So that's what goes in that box. Here you can see I've got more envelopes in here. Oh, here's one of the cardstocks I like to use from DCWV. I've got this on my Amazon favorite lists. Great pages in here that are great for cutting out fussy cuts. This one's the pastels, and I do like this one very much as well. Oh, I forgot about these trays. So I've got these trays that you would have seen me show you before. I'll show you what I do here. I have this, you've seen me, this is the sort of way I photograph my projects on this board here. And then if I just remove that, you'll see that I use these trays when I'm looking for stuff. So I've got butterflies, die cuts, flower shapes, tea cards, birds and fussy cuts, stamps, flowers, all in there. And it's just a case of taking one of these trays to the table when I'm working. So if I'm looking for labels or whatever I'm looking for there, that's where I do it. Okay. I'm not going to pick up every single one. I'll just let you see they stack really nicely. So I've got doilies, all sorts going on there. Super glue if I need it, sequins, tea bags, all sorts in there as well. Flowers, doilies cut out, lots of things in each one. Really easy just to pick up. These came from IKEA as well. And then I cover it because I don't want anything to fade from the light. And that's what I do there. Then these boxes here on the side are my fussy cut boxes. So they are a pencil case clear box. You can see I've got the pink and yellow ones in there. I've got the blue ones in there. Purple ones in there. Whatever it is, I've got a sort of box for them. They're right next to me. I can just turn around and grab these. And then, of course, all my fussy cuts I've got in a container right next to them as well. Now, if I just move those a little bit further back, you can see I've got a whole stack there of buttons. These are my fancy buttons. These are just random buttons that I've collected, so I've put them in there. My sequins that I use. My large eyelets and my small eyelets, and standing next to my crocodile as well. So it's just easy to access these when they are near me and easy to see what I have. Okay, so we just put that there again as well. All right, so again, you can see that's how that all stands over there. Okay. Panning around again, you would have seen me show you this really large unit that I have. It is a 4x3, and I've got two of them, so it's 4x6. And that is full of cubbies. Some of them I have the dividers in that I've bought like this, just to give me the separate levels so I can put paper in and access it a little easier. So I've got newer paper pads in there. Again, pattern cardstock, and over here is plain cardstock that I bought by the sheet long time ago. Oh, and some recently purchased ones on the top there. So all various paper sheets and things. Then I've got quite a few. I've got a cupboard here. This cupboard has a door that you open, and this is where I store all my Sizzix and embossing folders. So wildflowers, all that kind of stuff in here. And then these are my embossing folders and large embossing folders and larger Sizzix dies as well, so that's all kept in there. And then what else have I got in here? Oh, this is all my envelopes. As you can see, loads of envelopes, recycling ones, new ones. I've got lots of envelopes, as you know. Oops. So yeah, lots and lots of envelopes I collect. What's in here? All my napkins, all my paper napkins, lots and lots of those as well. This one over here, sari ribbon. Need to find a better way of storing this, but at the moment it's in the sort of format that I've bought it. I also have underneath this lots of little packets from other people I've bought from before. That's just a roll of ribbon, so lots of beautiful colors of sari ribbon in there, and I've got all the shades, so that's really good. Over here you will have seen me show you this before. This is my lace, so that aren't long enough to go on the other system. These are ribbons and trim, especially in here. Lots of ribbon goes in there. And then for the ones that are a bit smaller, little scrappy bits that aren't very long at all, I put them in here, and they're in color. So like this one, it's in these small little boxes. These are like business card size boxes, and I can just pull them out on based on color. And I tend to look in these boxes before I look in these drawers for what I want. So this system has worked really well for me, and found so much that I thought I didn't have. So I've got these as well. I keep all sorts in here. I've got sort of vintage bits of ephemera, labels and things like that, and some more up here as well. A lot of this has stationery like metal file pieces or bull clips and that kind of thing is all in there. All right, let's move along a little bit. Some more paper. That's parchment paper. This is scrap, special pieces of paper that I've got that are scraps, usually vintage or antique, that I've just put in there. Here I keep more paper. You'll see a lot of tea-dyed paper, craft paper, card, and piano paper. And Carol, I won this from Carol about 1.5 years ago or so. This is just other paper that I have. So if it's Italian paper, all sorts of paper that I've collected that I want to use, and I've got avocado paper in there, all sorts of strange bits of paper that I'm saving and to use. Right, this is my wallpaper collection, and you can see I've got quite a few. Love my wallpapers. Can't help myself. I've got some great ones there. If you go into the cupboard at the bottom, not so tidy. I've got Distress Oxide things. I've got my glue stash, and all sorts of storage of my supplies in there, really. Let's just grip this properly. If we go down to the bottom, I've got loads of doilies and lace and things that I've bought there. This is my Avril yarn, so I've got that in there, and flowers. And then I think in here I've got my metal pieces, so all sorts of metal pieces that I've collected in here, and eyelets and all sorts of charms, metal bits, bulb pins and things in here. So that's what's in there. Okay. Got lace in here, lace pieces. These are like lace fabrics, and that's a container with all my very special vintage or antique lace pieces, which I've shown you before. So that's what that is. Got a couple of those in there. Top. You'll see, if I move that out the way, those are my friendship journals. Some of them over there, so that's really lovely with all my friendship pages in there. Then I got this gorgeous gift that I got from Jean rag, which is beautiful. And you've seen me show this before. If I open it, it's all going to fall down. Beautiful gift. I've got another gift at the top here from Carmen that she made especially for me, which is lovely. And then you can see, if I pan over, I've got a whole top level here full of these boxes. And these are the lights boxes that I was showing you how I store my lace in, and I've got quite a few different things in them. Now they are above me, so I'll try and take down a few just to show you. All right, so let's pan over to the start. Right, so in this one I've got my seam binding and cotton. Right, so this is the seam binding and cotton. You can see my rolls of seam binding in there and cotton for sewing, so that's what that one's all about. Here we have one that's full of my handmade ephemera, some of the pieces that I've been working on all made and ready to go into journals, so like pockets, little envelopes, things that I've made over here, that kind of stuff, all ready to go in there. All right, so here's another one of my boxes that I have lots of bits and pieces that I like to use. So I've got tortoiseshell buttons, and I had a load, so I put them in a separate little box. I've got, you can see I've got washi tapes, big rolls of washi tape, lots of die cuts from Tim Holtz, lots of goods from Gift Smiley, little notes and sort of things in there, lots of little containers that I received for bits and pieces, and then over here I've got my antique vintage letters and words that I tear and use, so that's in there. This is some of my beads that I was making for jewelry, and this last bit over here are special buttons that I bought that are tortoise shell in various colors. They go in there. So that's the kind of stuff that you find in this box. And the amazing thing is, I know where everything is. Here's a pretty sight in this box. I've got a lot of the envelopes and things that I've made. These are all ready to go into journals that I make. So a lot of my pieces that I've recorded are in here. And isn't that a pretty sight? Okay. Now, if you have been watching my videos, you'll know this is the lace container box, and this is how I store my large lace trims in here. So if you want to know how I did that, I've got a video on it. So that's really handy when you're looking for something. You can just pull out one of these, take off the piece that you want, and use that. It's also great, so I found, in that I'm able to see everything I have, rather than trying to scratch at the bottom of a container and not find anything at all and forget what I have half the time. So that's been really, really handy. Here I've got a container full of special sort of packs that I've ordered. So this is actually from Amity Bloom. This is another one I got from Etsy, sort of like a provision pack. And down there I've got all my chapter 1 kits that I've used and saved in this box. Okay, so in this box I've got very special journals. I've got a beautiful one here from Carol from Oak House Journal that she made for me. And I've got this one which comes from Heidi McGregor over here. And I've got a journal from Amity Bloom. It's just in there, so it's all wrapped up so you can't really see it. I keep them in the boxes that they were given to me in, and I was very fortunate to be able to secure one of those after sitting up all hours of the night. And Carol told me afterwards she was wanting that one as well. I'm so sorry, Carol. And then I have a beautiful prize that I won from the Paper Pixie at the back here from Ream, and so I keep it safely tucked up here as well. I was just looking at it in the week as well. I do take these out and have a look at them, but I've got them in here. All right, so here's my actual desk. This is the desk that I work at, and as you can see, I've got loads of stuff on it, of course. If you have a look over here, these are some of my journals that I've made. Let me just turn around. You'll remember that one. This is the journals that I've bought, these two. Got that from Pat. Various journals here. And then, of course, some of the journals and things that I've made. So I've made that one, journal envelope. That one, Pretty in Pastels. And some other projects that I've made. They're all in here. So I've got that there. Okay, and then if you have a look over here, I've got these 3 pieces that I have on the desk tied with this beautiful fabric. I bought these from Carol. So if you've watched Carol from Oak House Journal, she does these beautiful provision boxes. Beautiful, stunning. And it took everything in me to unwrap this, to have a look at everything inside. But I try to keep it together as much as possible because just the way she wraps everything is just so gorgeous, never mind the contents. So I had 2 of those from Carol and I love them. Beautiful wooden boxes filled with delights. So I've got those there. And then underneath, another box, which was a beautiful gift as well for Christmas that I got from Carol. So gorgeous contents in there. Absolutely love this. So very spoilt. So that's what's there. If I move you around, you'll see that I in fact have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13 container trays here. I love these trays. These trays I use when I'm working on a specific project. So they all link together, and they're like bigger than an A4. So any piece of paper that I'm working on goes in here. I take it to my desk. I work with what I want, and then the bits go back in here, and then I get back to it when I'm able. I'm sorry to tell you that I'm working on 12, mostly probably 12 projects. Excuse me. So I've got, this one is not a project though. This is just bits that I was working on. These are all my sort of words and sentiments. This is a project I have completed, so I need to pack that away now. Various bits that I'm working on, but this is one that I'm completed and I'm just slack and haven't packed it away yet. But I've also got stamps. I've got one with various things in there as well. So great way to work and keep things tidy is to put it in these sort of stackable containers. You can see they stack nicely, so I do recommend this. I got these on a sale, and every time I bought 2 whenever they came up on sale, and now I've got 13. So it just shows you, and I love them. And if they come on sale, I'll buy another 2. Just underneath, you can see not everything's perfect in my life, ladies. You can see all this underneath my table. And although those are my, where I keep my scraps and everything, I have got some more to put into those folders. So it's an ongoing job. And then underneath this, so this is where I store all my scraps, and I've shown you that on a video. Then this is the container where I store my full sheets of paper from various artists, and I'm sure I have shown you this before. But you know, for example, what's this one? This is Amity Bloom that I've just been working on. And so whatever was, I took stuff out of here. Now it's not quite sitting right, but each one's labeled, and whatever it is, like for example, that would be my porch prints. So I know where my sheets are that are left over that I'm not using. So these are the full sheets in here. All right, so that plastic box I got from Amazon, and it's in my link if you're in the UK. All right, but a great system, hanging folders, and I've put other suggestions in my American Amazon as well. Great way to store your papers. Then I've got my jewelry container here with all my beads in here. It's got 3 layers, and my notions, so that's all in there. It's also on the Amazon. this is where I've got all my tools and things for the beads that don't fit in the container. And then I've got box over here, it's empty. And then this is all my fabrics in these containers here. So I can see pretty much what I have. So that's what I stored there. Okay, so that's that. And then on this side, this is the messy bit. That's just like sewing stuff in there. This is me storing Thorntons. This was given to me, but I just didn't eat it yet. And then here is a lot of, this was a parcel that I received from an order from Amazon for, I think it was Lulubelle. Yeah, so scraps of vintage eiderdown and that in there. And then this is a huge container. This is from all my recycling. So you've got lots of packaging in there. So I top up from there when the stuff on the windowsill depletes, and it does. So that's where I take all of that stuff. Now if you look just behind here, you'll see I've got lots of boxes, like pizza shaped. This is, again, me buying stuff online that I haven't got to use yet. So various packs and things. I know one of them is full of Tim Holtz stuff. And it's all for a specific project I have in mind for this year. And as I was saying to somebody, that is a long list of projects I want to finish this year. The only other thing I haven't shown you are my drawers, so let me do that. These are the drawer sets that are at the bottom of my desk. So you can see I've got 2 sets here, and without making you giddy, I've got another set over here. So what if I open just a few of these, you'll see I've got inks that I don't use as much over here with some of my most used stamps, punches, more buttons. A lot of these are vintage, like this is an antique tin full of buttons that was gifted to me by a friend. In this drawer, I've got a lot of sort of bits and bobs really. That's for my glasses. That's when I cut myself. Plasters, labels, various goodies in here. Just a little sanding block, pearls, extras for my stuff there. My gauze and stuff that I've dyed that I haven't, Velcro squares, lots of my what you call this stuff, eyelash trim in there, and embroidery thread over there. So this is a lot of my grease proof envelopes and bags, and my acetate. If I do some from this side, again I've got my seam binding that I've crinkled already. Flowers and things, and Irish linen thread over there. Here are all my sticky bits, so parcel tape, double-sided tape, dimensional tape, all of that in there. This is just my Making Memories kit, and this I think is my seals kit with wax in there. Alright, so that's all in there. And then in this one, again, more punches. Alright. I hope that that's been quite educational, where you can see everything that I do and where I do it. If you've got any questions, let me know. If you're wanting to know some of the things or some of the stash or some of the products that I use, you can find that all on Amazon. On my favorites list, I have a list for the UK, and I have a list for the US as well. All right, so I hope that you've enjoyed that. Let's look at the butterflies. And let me know what you think. And yeah, it's a process. It changes. I mean, if I look at the video I posted it over a year ago, things are quite different there as well. At the moment, I feel like it's getting smaller and smaller in here. All right, everybody, I hope that you've enjoyed that, and I hope it's not too wiggly and make you dizzy. Thank you guys so much for your support. And as always, I hope to have another video out for you very soon. Have a great week, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye now.